Beautiful, beautiful. And welcome to the super fun, awesome, happy done pedal show.
Hey, welcome.
I'm Gabor.
My name's Alex.
And today we have something, hang on, I've got to reach over here. Oh,
Click.
slightly a little bit different. We've got an acoustic instrument preamp.
Yeah.
DI preamp.
This just kind of fits in the pedal world because it's, yeah.
Well, it's a pedal.
Anything, yeah. Because of basically our instrument preamp, but also has effects loop on it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
In the effects loop, we had a analog delay, which is running just in the intro.
Yes, the Anasound Utopia, if anyone cares.
Delay.
Oh, and big thank you to Kang and the guys at GSUS4 here in Australia, Australian distributors. So this is a Red Eye preamp by FireEye Development.
Yeah.
In America. Been gaining a fair bit of praise amongst some players as a very good preamp, basically for any acoustic instrument, really.
Yeah, you've used it on some gigs.
I think between us, we've used it quite extensively. So I used it at a few gigs. So I usually have just a standard DI on my board that I run all my effects in series, in line,
Yes.
right, into the DI and then into my PA system. With this, I basically had all the effects in a loop and just ran guitar. Well, the tuner in front of it, the tuner into that.
Okay, cool.
The pedals in the effects loop and then out to the PA.
Nice.
And it sounded great. It actually sounded really, really good.
Cool.
And I did quite a few gigs with it because I do sort of 3 to 5 gigs a week, and most of them acoustic guitar. So I've used it for a couple of weeks and really quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, cool. I used it on a recording session as in combination with some microphones and just pulling up the DI sound. Usually you kind of use a little bit of DI in the mix of an acoustic guitar sound because it's a bit honky and just a bit, use it just for fill out some bottom end perhaps. But yeah, that's great. You use it probably 50% of the sound ended up being DI.
Excellent.
And I also mixed a small festival here on the weekend, and a guitarist showed up with one on his board.
Well, there you go.
Totally unplanned, and had a chat, and he seems to like it. He only just got one, and he had a Takamine, which can be sometimes bright and shrill, but it's really sweet sounding.
So let's have a quick look. So basically you've got a big red switch, which is a boost. So you've got an instrument in, you've got a balanced DI out. There's a 9-volt battery inside for the boost, but that can also be activated through phantom power. You've got a treble control, the boost control, and you've got an effects loop send and return, and the on and off switch for the boost with the little LED there.
Cool. So basically we're just going to shoot out between a direct signal going straight into the Focusrite interface. It's a nice clean DI, but it's also just straight DI, no sort of processing. It's very flat and linear.
And we've got just an AB switcher down here. It's a passive Keeley AB switcher, just so we can have one line goes straight into the DI, into the interface. The other one goes through that into the interface.
So let's should we start with the direct line to the interface without the preamp?
Okay.
So this is that one.
Just checking.
Cool.
And you had to. Oh, should we boost on, boost off? Let's go boost off.
Boost off. This is the Red Eye preamp.
Has more body.
It's a little bit sweeter in the mid range.
Yeah. And more weight in the bottom, like nice weight on the sort of bottom end, low mids, bottom end.
Chubby.
It's just it's heaps chubby. Just has more character.
Yeah, it's
than a direct in.
A bit more musical.
Now let's try. Let's play around. Well, let's start with the boost.
Sure.
So when you switch that, the red light goes on, and you've got this here as your boost volumes. So going from all the way down to all the way up. So let's check it out. So this is unboosted. I'm actually got to say, I do quite like the switch. It's not a soft switch, it's a click switch, but it's a different sort of click switch to most click switches. I don't know, I like it. I like the switch.
Now you're saying there's probably not quite enough boost on tap for your taste.
I really quite enjoyed using it when I use it for my gigs that I usually do.
Yep.
The only thing, and that's really nitpicking for me, is I would like to have just that slight bit more in the boost side.
Sure.
Because I mean, the way I play a lot of solo acoustic stuff, and what I tend to do quite often is I loop a rhythm part and then play lead over it, and I usually have a separate boost pedal that I use to boost the lead. So what I have, the loop is usually just a tiny little bit quieter than the normal level, and the boost is just a tiny little bit louder, so you don't have huge volume fluctuations.
Sure.
The only thing for me was I would just like that little bit more. The way I actually ended up using it in the end, and it worked really well for me, is I tend to with my boosts that I have on my board, when I do finger picking stuff, I tend to, with my foot, I tend to move the volume down a bit, so it's not as loud as a boost when I play lead, but it gives the extra boost for the quieter fingerstyle playing. What I ended up doing is with this is when I did fingerstyle stuff, I just turned that boost on because it gave me a little bit of a boost for the fingerstyle stuff. And then still used my normal boost for lead volume boost.
Okay, yeah. Because there's probably, the way I'd use it, there'd be enough boost on tap, which is probably going from fingerstyle to a pick or whatever.
So that's what I used it for. So I used it to go between pick and fingerstyle.
Nice.
But then I still used the boost for the volume, the actual extra volume boost for the lead.
Shredding acoustic.
Yeah, for the acoustic shredding I do. Okay, let's try the treble.
Cool.
So over here you've got same sort of thing, treble knobs. As you roll it up, you add treble. Well, I don't know if is it a treble roll off? Is it treble? It'll be roll off.
I'm not sure if it's active or.
Let's have a listen.
You're more treble anyway.
Anyway, let's turn a boost on so it's louder too. Without the boost on, because it adds a bit of volume to it actually too. I should have tried that. I think it adds treble.
Feels like
it adds treble.
For me, I would set probably just over halfway with both of them, and then leave it on.
The boost gives it extra, a bit of extra oomph as well.
A bit more of everything.
Okay. Well, cool. And then we've got, so now the thing we also did is we put a delay pedal into the effects loop. So should we try it out? Just fiddle around a little. It's the Anasound Utopia, which is a great delay pedal actually. So let's just check it out. Beautiful. Does sound great.
And being in the effects loop you're not still getting the wet and the dry. You're not sort of losing your core acoustic tone. Very nice.
So should we now, because you can use it for acoustic guitar, but you can also use it for things like, for example, bass. And it even says in a manual that for electric guitars as well. So should we try that out?
Let's try some stuff.
Okay. See you soon.
Back soon.
And we're back. Okay, so we've got bass and electric guitar now. We're just going to run that again. Same, we haven't unplugged anything really other than the acoustic guitar, so it's going straight into the converters. We've still got the A/B switch, so we're going to see what it sounds like with and without.
Okay, we'll start with directly into the converter DI. Cool.
Beautiful.
Bass guitar.
Through the red eye.
Yes.
Okay, it just gives it just more body.
Yeah.
It rounds it all off and makes it of. I don't know. It's hard to explain sort of with it, with a DI, but it makes it. It just rounds it off friendlier.
For me, it's a mid-range thing, so it's probably less obvious with a passive bass where there's not a lot of mid-range coming through. It's more obvious on acoustic guitar. Should we try the electric guitar?
And then maybe we should try it on your bass lady.
We can do that. You put that in your in your guitar.
Whoops. Okay.
So this is the DI. This is direct to the interface.
Go direct again. Oh, now there's a difference. Definitely a difference.
See, obviously guitars have more mid-range, so you'll hear that difference much more.
I mean, plugging a guitar directly into a thing is always bypassing the amp kind of thing. But it does change quite a bit. Okay, we're now also getting a bass ukulele or bass-lele. So it's a bass, but it has an active circuit in it because it's got a preamp in it. So let's try that.
So this is very cute, and it's pretty damn cool. So let's plug that in.
Bass-lele.
They make basses for men too, which is good. So this is direct without the preamp. And with the preamp. Isn't it cool?
Disco basalele.
Yeah, folk disco. There's a lot of boost there.
There's a lot of boost there, yeah. But yeah, just to get sort of big. But it's it just does the same thing. It makes it rounder, it makes it friendlier to the ear.
Lovely. Also, buy a ukulele bass. They're great fun.
Anyone needs a good ukulele bass.
Yeah.
So, we're going to keep doing different things with it. We might, we're talking about in future, we might bring some other acoustic instruments, such as maybe fiddle player and a cello player that I know. And
I've got a guy coming in a couple of days to do a mandolin session, so we might try it on that.
Might see if we can do some video of that as well.
Yeah, cool.
But so this is just the first sort of run through. We'll do some more stuff with it in future, but it is really quite a nice sounding thing. So for me, and this is literally only just nitpicking. The only thing I would have differently really is a little bit more boost.
Sure.
Just the way I use it. But I mean, I probably use the way I use my acoustic setup is probably different to what other people would use. But
Okay.
A little bit more boost would be fantastic for me. And again, only nitpicking. This is only just me being a pain in the butt. Okay, now when I do gigs, because I do quite a lot of gigs, my pedal board is in a case, right?
Sure.
And quite often, a lot of weekends, I sometimes do more than one gig, so I have to quickly pack up one gig, quickly race to the next gig. The only other thing that I would, and again, this is only me and probably only the way I use it, but I just thought to mention it. I love the fact that there's a battery in it, because there's times where you do sometimes rock up at some gigs where you don't supply PA, where someone else provides PA.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's smaller, crappier things, and sometimes you don't have access to phantom power. So the idea of having a battery in there is great. The only thing I noticed, right, if I have it on my pedal board, I always forget about unplugging the instrument jack. And as soon as the instrument jack is plugged in, and there's no phantom power coming through the XLR, it draws battery power. So 9 out of 10 times when I open the case, well, not 9 out of 10 times because I didn't do 10 gigs with it, but let's say 4 out of 6 times, when I opened the case, the light was on, meaning when I closed the case, it pushed a button and the battery turned on.
Sure.
Again, this is just me being nitpicky because I don't think I'd remember to pull the thing out. Having some sort of a switch to turn a battery off. I like the idea of having it in there, just in case. And which is that's one of the reasons the DI I used to always use on my acoustic board is a passive board, because there are these once in a blue moon times when you rock up at a gig and there is no phantom power. You play with someone else, you in a duo with someone else, they have some crappy mixer where there's no phantom power. So I love the idea of having it, the battery, and that it draws very little power, I think is great too. But to have the ability to switch it off would be fantastic.
Cool.
That's the only thing. And literally is nothing. It's just me being picky. And the boost. But other than that, I think it sounds great. And I mean, with the boost, once I got used to it, I worked with it.
Sure. Everyone's going to use it differently too.
Well, that's what I mean. There's different things for everyone. And
instrument and the gig and the band and the...
and how you approach it, and if you use lots of effects and not, and blah, blah, blah. And if you use a looper and if you don't use a looper. But other than that, I really liked it. I really enjoyed playing with it. And I did notice quite a difference. I do use a higher end DI, like of a company that's quite well known and that make really good stuff, passive DI.
Yep.
And I did notice a difference in tone.
Cool.
And I did like the sound of this. And I will possibly continue using it, for my gigs and stuff like that. But we'll try more in the studio as well. But like I said, that's the only thing.
Okay.
If
cool.
I'm nitpicky.
Sure. Very good.
You generally had quite good with your studio, just when you recorded in the studio with it.
Yeah, but basically we just set up the sound and didn't have to switch things on in and off.
Didn't have to AB and stuff.
In and out, yeah. So it was very cool. Love the sound.
Excellent. Well, stay tuned for some more. There'll be some more things happening with this. We'll do some more studio-related stuff and some more things with it. Big thank you again to Kang and the guys at GSUS4 here in Australia. They're Australian distributors. Big thanks to the guys at FireEye for the Red Eye instrument preamplifier. Thanks for checking it out. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and our
podcast.
Well, we'll most likely be talking about this very thing.
Dare say we will be.
Which was probably a few weeks ago by now, but
yeah.
Because the audio goes quicker than the video editing. Anyway,
yeah, speed of light thing.
Check out our podcast. We'll be talking about this. Check out all our social media, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff.
All the stuff. Yeah. Cool, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.
Bye-bye.